past, the thorn in the side of Loud has typically been North America and LATAM. As far as regions go, you've got Optic and Crew that have had them their losses, their only losses.
The only losses that Loud have ever had to Optic and Crew.
To start things off here on the pistol round, something that Leviatan have put a lot of preparation into is winning these pistol rounds, making sure that they carry them forwards. Gives them a lot of momentum. If Loud can steal the opening away, it would give them a massive lead heading into the overall map.
Sassy burning the Owl Drone there as well. Obviously, good damage done early to Taco, but that's been healed up by now. And just after pausing for a moment, Loud are able to come in off the back of the wall from Pancada. And Aspas is searching for a kill, got the rendezvous down. If he could grab one and get away, that would be everything.
Aggressive angle to be played, but yeah, pushed off of it. Still survives though on 10 health. Manages to back away. This wall is causing a couple of problems as well. It's deep in the way, but this reflank, Sassy's spotted. Tried to take a good timing there through mid.
And that's going to trigger the retake.
Rest of Leviatan pushing forwards now as well. You can see the utility just waves a bit. Was there anything to try and manage this? There is King. Still follows it up with a frenzy in his hands. Rolling forward to the rest of his teammates. Half on the defuse. And it's just up to Sassy. Cannot withstand against the immense pressure. That's the pistol round for Leviatan going their way.
That is 9 out of 9 pistol rounds so far at Champions for Leviatan. Their pistol round success has absolutely powered them through the group stage that was clinical, taking down our grand finalists in Paper X and storming to a lead in the group of death. King was talking about it in an interview. He was saying they were a bit random and, you know, they just picked a strat and were hoping that their opponents didn't have a counter to it, but their aim is so good and the decision-making in these pistol rounds is phenomenal too. They have occasionally lost the follow-up though at Champs and not been able to carry it forwards. Aspas would love to be able to get an opener, but he was denied on round 1.
Look at how fast these Loud players are. Already scaling deep into Kitchen, but only the classics in their hands. Not the best weapon for the job. In fact, Shy is going to be collecting up a kill or two. There was a trade in play, but Melza happy to pick up the pieces.
One enemy remaining.
Just left down to Aspas now.
And he's going to run straight into the waiting arms again. So, an easy follow-up for Leviatan. And they're now going to keep some fairly decent weaponry heading into a bonus round. And we have seen this story play out so many times at Champs so far. And this is an interesting statistic. Leviatan haven't lost on ICEBOX since April 1st, but they've also never played it at a global tournament. Yeah. They haven't played it at Champs. They didn't play it when they turned up to Copenhagen. So that might be a bit deceiving. We really don't know how good this team is. And reminder that these two teams scrim against each other. I feel like Loud would be quite foolish to pick into a map that they knew Leviatan was excellent at.
This bonus round is going to be vital for the future health of this first half, at least on the side of Leviatan. Aldron's going to be getting a nice bit of space there. Sets Aspas up momentarily. Sassy is going to be tanking the dart. Just backs away, ended up destroying the opposing Aldron as well, so denying that information.
In the meantime, Melza has that wall up over towards B. So unless Loud can create an avenue over on A, these B players over with the spike really can't do anything. It's all on Aspas to create an opening, or at least pull players over as the wall drops.
It seems like the game plan might just be slow and steady. It is just a dart for a dart. Traded out, destroyed. You want to be taking these fights a little bit better with the rifles. They've got a deep flash. Angle still being watched, and it is that run and gun. The sidestep there from King, and he's found the second one. Sadak over the top. Returns with fire and fury. 2 kills followed up back to back.
And now the wall, now the plant. And all on Melza and Taco to see if they can get anything done. Less watching that rope. Shuts down the chances for the bonus round to be converted here, barring something absurd from Tacolia.
Would take a miracle.
And I've seen a miraculous 1v3 clutch already from this guy, but it's not going to be today.
Yeah, not today. I think this plays into the whole statistics, the ideas as well of where the strengths of Loud lie as a team, because they are so good when they have guns in their hands. These buy rounds, definitely sailing ahead in terms of just the strengths. It's different, I guess, avenues of where each team, both of these teams have been placing a lot of their preparation. For Loud, it's definitely when it gets a lot of those rifles in their hands, when they got the money.
At Champs so far, they've got an almost 70% win rate with rifles in hands. I mean, that is compared to under 50% for Leviatan. Leviatan have been getting their wins on pistol rounds and following up the momentum, winning the half buys. And there's that Sage Wall again from Leviatan. Putting it down early denies a lot of the space that Loud would love to take early on here on B. And this battle is going to be so crucial.
Look at the reclear as well. Leviatan not scared to just fight over this B main area, especially with the wall going down.
And I would say that defines Leviatan in one phrase: never scared. The Des were talking about how strange it is to see King over on Viper, but I feel like any of these players, even when they're on the more supportive agents, they just always find fights.
Sure. Doesn't quite matter for them. And it is a cautious tale. A lot of these attack side rounds, but now you're starting to see the pace thrown into the mix. No Commander's going to be denying a lot of these abilities. Close start.
Sadak with a team flash there, so they haven't actually pushed through this Viper wall. They flashed and darted, but a small mistake has denied them this space that was theirs to take.
Look at the amount of players. Leviatan, they've got everyone holding these crossfire angles now. Loud are just trying to essentially walk up onto these angles, even using their own Sage Wall to see if they can get into the site. Plant's going to start to go down for them, and there is no attempt inside of Leviatan to try and disrupt it. Biding their time, waiting for the players to rotate in, and also holding for any potential mid lurks. But all the players on Loud are holding up close to these angles, willing to trade each other out at a moment's notice. Opening kill there as Verso will fall. The dart is dealt with, so no player's going to be lit up, but time is running low right now, and the fights need to be taken.
Last player standing.
Sadak finding so much value again, and they fended it off with an excellent post plant. Sadak's 2Ks in both of these rounds. Oh, Meltzer dips away. Oh, his little head.
Oh my goodness.
And the rabbit evades the hunter, skipping and hopping into the fields. But it's another situation that Sadak, the IGL, manages to rescue there for Loud. Retake looked like it might have had some bite behind it. Aspas being able to find the first, of course, very important, but I think Sadak up here, positioned with Pancada, is the player that really shuts that down. And Leviatan are going to be finding it difficult on this defense, I think. They tend to play for retake on all their maps a lot more. About 72% of the time they're playing for retake, which is an extraordinary amount. And ICEBOX is all about denying the plant getting down.
Yeah.
But also, Leviatan are crazy on these half-buy and eco rounds.
They've been known to do some damage. Close to the weapon, you can see drones being traded out there, but already Loud are not wasting any time with the scaling. They're moving up so fast onto this one. Plant even going down. There's nothing to stop that one, and there was no way he was surviving that shot from Aspas with the rifles, one after the other. The anchoring player is just going to be falling.
One enemy remaining.
Just up to Melzer now. He manages, well, I guess, saving that rifle from the prior round, so...
It's actually quite important he keeps saving it, though.
Yeah.
With only 1,000 credits, having lived in the prior round, if he loses the rifle now, he's going to have a poor buy heading into round 6. So this is one of the problems with saving just a solo rifle. You end up having to be a bit timid with it. And I don't think he's going to be allowed to keep this one.
Oh, they are hunting him.
He's getting swarmed.
Every possible angle. He might dodge them now. There is nobody checking this middle section as long as he holds his ground. Yeah, doesn't open himself up to any angles.
The whole of Loud just playing together there.
Yeah.
But finding another A plant and converting it. Leviatan now with rifles back in hand and an operator on Taco. Now their system should start to come online. Aspas has been great in these post plants at taking first contact and allowing the other players to trade and hold their positions as he gets info early. But this is the round where Leviatan's defensive setup should come online. King has had his Viper's Pit for so long, this would be the round to invest it on A, and Taco's AWP is set up on B.
Keep a wall. There is no attempt of laying down the Viper's Pit. In fact, all of that weaponry bursting down the wall, making it quite dangerous to even evacuate. Takaleo has set himself up at the operator angle.
And this round,
there tries to go for the wall bang.
A very fast double push up too.
Yeah. Instantly removing that trademark and does force the presence from Melzer. Has to face check it for about a moment. Thinks twice though about trying to play this one, and they are backing out of tube once more, so just destroying that trademark.
And this is a really nice idea to try and pull Taco away from B main. Adverso getting a little bit of info, chooses to use his drone, but comes out of it very quickly. And Leviatan's defensive setup has been pushed away a little bit. Taco's done a great job at staying in his position of B-main and trusting his teammates. But look, there's only one player here to defend, and King chose not to use his pit early.
Just holding. Now the swarm of utilities is going to start to come through. He does
Right
pit
before
into the corner as the hit is coming through, but they are really pushing into this now. They want to make sure he doesn't get away with it. But the snake bite to supplement. Sadek vulnerable up, but a bullet to the head will do it nevertheless. And out of no command. King is finally getting the reinforcements he needs, but the spike has been planted in the midst of all this chaos.
And it's just outside the pit as well. But this retake with the null command in play should be dangerous, but they're just not moving forward. No. They're not taking advantage of it.
Just tripled up outside maze. See if they can move. Tap does force one of the fights, but still winning it out.
One enemy remaining.
Time being, not quite enough though. The positioning wasn't there from the Lao players. Corralled into that corner. They had to play away from the Viper's pit.
And the trading looking pretty good there as well from Leviatan. Love the play from King, by the way. He manages to pop up that Viper's pit as he hears everybody coming towards him. As the 0 point was just about to pop on top of his head. If he had waited a fraction of a second more, he's going to be suppressed and they probably lose that round. And so far, Loud definitely showing a preference for finishing A. We'll see whether Leviatan start to read into that, whether Ona gets the read on it too.
It is 3-3. Even it up. Map that Leviatan don't play too often. One that we don't really expect them to be favored on either, considering Loud ended up picking it. And again, it's that early presence and just showing a bit of utility, throwing it at A, the owl drone early on.
And interestingly, Taco was reading that there was going to be a mid-lurk here, which isn't coming through, so the star-op player of Leviatan kind of out of this round as everyone moves their way forwards. And Melzer gets traded.
Yeah, Melzer was so close there, was not really an option for it. A lot of damage coming through. Les is in such a weak position, has to back away, but he did get the Viper's pit off, and the Verso does not want to give up this space. Wants to take the fight straight to the one after the other was shy helping him out from the high ground. Beautiful setup, and now just down to Les and Pancada. Wall's going to be splitting up a portion of the side, and they do still have that Viper's pit up. It is a winnable scenario in this post-plant, but it's about to get much weaker.
There's a Viper on the flank.
Yep. King is everything right now, taking this timing. Any sort of shots that he can find, and he's already found the opener. Just down to Les with 23 health remaining, just not enough to work with. And the Viper diff comes through.
And I'm very impressed by the retakes. I said that this might be a challenging map for Leviatan with how much they play retake here and how difficult they can be on ICEBOX. The meta generally tends to revolve around denying the plan coming through in the first place, but look at how well they control this back area. It's not just that Verso here. Shy is above on rafters, making that a double face and stopping the post-plant players from being able to stop them. The trades this tournament have simply been immaculate from Leviatan. It was one of their worst categories before champs at Copenhagen.
There's a lot of, I think, different bits and bobs of information coming into this matchup as well, with both of these teams being scrim partners.
That's a pretty good wall boost though, Bren, as well. You got Taco with his AWP up on top of the Sage wall. You saw it boosted on top of Jenny, and he takes down Aspas to start. That, I think, is the first time that Taco's really been able to have impact at the start of these rounds. It's more so been King so far.
It's a great answer, I think, as well, to the slow contact pushes that Loud have been doing on our attack side. They've been trying to take space on the A side of the map pretty consistently so far in this half.
They've also been working tube quite a lot, and Sadek is there again.
Yeah.
The idea with the tube pressure is that it should pull some of the players away from yellow. But you can still see King wanting to fight that aggressively. It's just required one more player, 3 now over towards B, now that they've lost that kitchen control.
And that off angle is just disgusting.
Yeah, no utility used to clear out the back of yellow. And even if there was, King would have been able to dodge it.
That off angle is disgusting. I mean, what is going on here? The Loud player is just trying to contact peek into anything, trying to take some space onto the map, but everything's just being watched for.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, they're doing a beautiful job here. And that's one of the advantages of playing retake on A, Bren, is that you only need to commit one person to it. Sure, they had 2 at the beginning of the round in order to set Takulia up on top of Generator.
Yeah.
but it's normally just been Taco or just been King. And the other 4 players
10 seconds
can
left.
watch mid and can watch B and stop these little contact pushes where Loud tries to work the map. And even if that means that A is a bit weak and Loud get the post plants, so far the retakes have been looking good. Loud are going to have to come up with a game plan here that works around the way that Leviatan are defending this map.
Yeah, it's got to be a switch up. You mentioned as well, Takulia getting that operator in his hands. It does add a lovely extra element. That is such a tiny angle to be able to find that shot. But it does disrupt this overall game plan that Loud have just been operating on, which is, you know, trying to take space.
Start getting up some rounds here and posing a problem. The Loud players might start getting into their own head. A shock to try and clear the trademark that's going to be up in kitchen, but it's posed on the other side, so that's not going to do anything.
Yeah. Incorrect gamble.
And you are right, Brent. The adjustment from Leviatan has been to put Takulia over on B.
Just that one op sideline, that one angle.
Currently,
Not sure if they're aware of that as well. That's change.
the only strange thing about this defensive setup is how far forward Adverso is, considering he has that Hunter's Fury, but he just tanks the null command and gets out of there.
Yeah, has to respect it. Gets all the way out of there. Another wall to try and disjoint the rest of the site. You can see the spike starting to go down. There will not be any utility in play, obviously, when they're all suppressed across the board with the null command in play. But Loud's game plan so far on these post plans has been holding close, trying to make sure that they deny any sort of retake.
And it was a good 0 point there from Sadak. That actually suppressed Adverso for another period of time. So this is going to be a really late usage of Drone and Hunter's Fury.
Flash over the top now to Hunter's Fury. That's going to push them forwards. But where is the follow-up? The players need to push forward still at first. So he is rewarded. And space has been gained. The rest of the Leviatan players happy to just scale and move all the way through it. The Fuse going to be rattled off, but the last burst of the Hunter's Fury, not enough to claim the kill. It's a safe stick of the defuse.
And another clean retake for Leviatan. Loud look lost in these post plants. They're trying to outplay Leviatan. They go in with the null command, they get the spike down for free, all in their post plant positions, playing passively. Aspas getting caught there is not ideal, but also Les was trying to lurk through mid. And even though they haven't gone for that, at any point, Melza was still watching it, still ready. And if there was any doubt that King moving over to Viper would still be a comfortable role for him, 12 and 3 right now, just
Guy's a demon.
devouring.
Definite fragging IGL. Aspas though, what is this? Player's just falling into his lap there. Cleans him up one after the other. Okay, that's one thing. One way to open up a round, I suppose, when things haven't been going your way. Just get handed a couple of kills. Those are so far forward that it's not even like Mel's is going to be able to rotate. Get this Resurrect off. Oh, Shy's going to try and reclaim the space, and it's just being held for.
And that really is an incredibly quick round that just fell into Loud's lap. And Taco trying to get up on an aggressive angle, and Aspas was there too quickly. He just knew where he was going and punished him instantly.
Yeah.
And Adverso is such an aggressive player considering his position as the Sova breach player for the team. And he also just gets eaten up by Aspas, controlling that. This one's not replicable though for Loud.
No.
You can't just hope that every round Leviatan's aggression ends up getting fumbled.
Wasn't too much strategy in play.
But Loud will take it.
Of course. Little rounds like this, enough to just get on board one after the other. King's going to attempt to do a bit of economical damage. There's still money in the bank for Loud, so even if they do lose these players, I believe they'll be able to get the rifles online.
Definitely.
Really, there's no point in hunting this. I think King is money capped. Not really the percentage play, but maybe just for confidence. Try and win this fight out, okay.
And that round could really be pivotal in the end. Loud do not get many attacking rounds. I mean, just overall, they're a super defense-sided team. The defensive protocols are excellent. But when you look at the way that they play, if you're gifting them rounds like this and allowing them opportunities on their attack side, you might end up hurting for it in the second half.
Yeah.
Loud, so far this tournament, only winning 42% of their attacking rounds, which is really low. Extremely low. That's at Champions so far. So a half like this isn't too unexpected.
I doubt they're going to be handed too many more like that, at least in this half initially. Taklia now with a tour de force. Nice angle. You can watch down here onto Belt. I suppose you can feel just a bit jittery there with the movement. Maybe eager to take a fight, but backs away in the end. Showing that discipline and now going to be just trying to slowly take space on A by themselves. Also mid being explored by the loud players.
Sadak taking a ton of damage from Averso, who's so good at spraying through those positions. Does the same thing on Breeze as well when they play the defense. And this Sage Wall that Melza keeps putting down on B is just crippling what Loud can do in terms of their map control and denying info. It's the same play again. It's just a spam up through tube. Adverso reads it. Masterful.
It's a dark giving him full information. Bit of a pre-fire. Okay. Why not? This fight's taking place all over the map. But still a player advantage here. Leviatan, in fact, look at that. One more.
30 seconds left.
Really just imbalancing the scales over the course of this round. This Viper wall will eventually go down, but time is running low now with only 22 seconds remaining. Dart into the back and a flash to try and supplement. It is the last-ditch chance. Shock darts. 1 or 2 is good. Sadak, oh my word. Narrowly avoiding.
But how do they win the post plan?
It's a difficult one. It's a good trade by Sadak though. Still, they have to play at least tight, close towards one another, but the fight just gets taken anyway.
And Leviatan just looks so good in these kind of situations. Loud feel caged when you watch them. Any peek. Leviatan are already on the angle. And these first 2 kills,
Look at this.
There they are.
perfect. Just an awesome recon dart. And then a kill through the smoke as well based off the timing.
Remaining.
Every player for Leviatan just stepping up, defending their area of the map immaculately.
Yeah, really beautiful stuff.
Even for the players that aren't really on the board. I mean, Melzer at the bottom of the scoreboard for his team, but the wall has been doing tons for them. Everybody playing excellently.
There needs to be an attempt to try and break this early, but they are. They'll be waiting if they do try and take some space over towards B main here. Taklia set up with the operator.
This time the wall doesn't go down. Does that give them an indication that Tackle could be here with the op?
Yeah.
They have been layering op and wall before.
Jump peek and a re-swing by Aspas. That's beautiful. Love that. Teammates helping him out, baiting the movement, making sure that he pre-aims at least a jump peek. That's down to Melzer though on top of the wall. It's a cute angle. Not really expecting that.
Amazing crosshair placement as well. But Aspas comes back up. And this now looks extremely heavy B.
Yeah, for one of the first times it feels like in this entire half that they've been leaning this way. They are being bogged down by all this Viper utility though. The orb in their face stops them from taking any space.
And you'd love to have a pivot player so that you could return to A if necessary.
They don't have any space there.
Leviatan have got such great ultimates here. They've got Null Command, they've got a Viper's Pit for the defuse to come down as well. And here it is.
Yeah, starting to use a bunch of them.
Oops.
Frag grenade here just goes a little bit wide there, rebounding off of the wall. Sadak will fall nevertheless.
And a Pit for the retake.
Yeah, and a deeper knife as well. Going to be removing a lot of those abilities. A deep flash, one after the other. Shy wants to take this space. The guy is aggressive. Going straight into the fray, trying to take the fight to them, but there's not really any support from the rest of his team. A wider swing from Aspas, he will need to make it. And Averso still holding on to what control he has on the left side of yellow. Bit of spam going their way, and another attempt now, a tap onto the spike. A bit of spam is going to have to do the job. Sassy, he pushes forwards, he does end up taking down the diffuser, but enough work was done prior to Kings trading it easily done.
And this map, Loud 4 at the half against a team that always wins on pistols.
Yeah, just looking so clean right now with an 8-4 lead on their opponent's map pick. Leviatan got to be happy with this one, I think. Can have some time to mull it over and think as well.
Next. And Loud have been fairly good at their defensive pistol rounds, but not immaculate, not by any means. And that's what they're up against.
So important that they secure this one here.
That is a really good 0-point lineup from Sadak. Finds 3 players over by B, and now you've got a chamber clash in mid. Aspas on the angle, but he's looking the wrong way.
And this could be everything right now. A wider swing, just with the ghost in hand. Sassy takes it down. Takalia's not going to be present now to watch that mid angle. In fact, going to be opening up a bit of a gulf, I think, into the attacking protocol but space is still being taken on the B site. Complete disrespect really being showed as well. In fact, look at the swing from Shy. He's only got a frenzy in his hand, but still willing to take the long-range fight.
That is part of what makes Leviatan so deadly. They knock you off your game by challenging you at unexpected times. And the spike is not getting committed here. They are deciding to go for the long pivot, and King has worked his way in perfectly all the way through A, up and behind.
Yep, that is magnificent stuff from the IGL. Desk was highlighting it. This guy has been an absolute menace. Almost paying with his life, though. Just has to cross.
30 seconds left.
He's going to get the heal back, and Shy wants to help him out as well. It does force the swing, though, with that shock dart.
Very good shot.
It now, yeah. King's going to be falling, which means a difficult one to try and hold this one, especially with how fast Loud are taking this retake. Already scaling deep into the site. May's going to be under control for him. A bit of a tap on the spike is going to be, again, forcing the utility. A lot of the swings, but they know that nobody's on it for now.
And they also know that nobody's on the flank.
Wall line up.
Huge wall.
That gives him so much cover now, and you can already see them just sticking it. Pancada's already on half. Sassy taking space, taking names. There was no attempt to try and play close there to deny that one. The wall just being saved means that Loud get a critical pistol round under their belts. I believe the first one that Leviatan have lost so far over the course of Champions 2022.
Yeah, how absurd is that? But it could not have come at a better time for Loud. And Sassy stepping up for his team. Starts with this opener that was labored from both sides and really could have gone either way. A shock dart to be able to help somebody else to finish off King. And then also pushes forward to stop anyone getting that wall down. And here we go. Leviatan are investing again. They're force buying, and they are so nasty with Stingers and Spectres in hand.
Yeah, they want to take the fight. Doesn't matter regardless of them. They managed to get plant down prior, so they can afford a lot of these weapons, but now they've revealed their hands. They've shown it, showcased it. Sadak wants to swing into it anyway. Takes a fight right to them. He did donate the Bulldog, but not before he took down 2 players with him.
Adverso, though, picks up a kill and brings this back into a 3v3. Pancada's position not quite known.
That's the reposition, though. Surely they would clear that one, but they have slowed down the push for now.
That's both shock darts and no damage onto Pancada to note of. At some point here, though, as Leviatan cut noise, Loud are going to have to start spreading the defense out again. Loud don't enjoy playing for retake as much as Leviatan do. They would much rather try to stack, but their players are not spreading.
No.
Loud are reading the re-hit, and it is the right call.
Yep, the cut noise re-hit coming through. The ponytail revealed it! Over the box. Another attempt at a fight is taken, but Les eventually will shut that one down. Quickly trading it through, but still now to 2v1. Orb in play, Les is low. 36 health, has dropped down to the ground, and I'm not sure if the noise cue went through. Do they expect this one? This force, it could come to fruition. In fact, it does just that.
And just when you think that you've got a leg up over Leviatan at the beginning of these halves, they prove that they've got more to give. The force buy, we haven't seen it once this tournament because they haven't lost a pistol. And yet as soon as they do, using all of the money from the kills and from the spike plant to invest back into the round and looking deadly. This is another layer of that early half plan from Leviatan that's working perfectly to drive a dagger into the heart of their South American rivals.
That's what made them such a force to be reckoned with. Not a rolling deep. Loud only going to be working with the Sheriffs in this one, but this angle, the timing is everything. And a shot is whiffed. Slight miss there. Not quite favored when you're trying to disrupt this one, and it's a deeper plant on the side of Leviatan. It was red though. Fragment Nate did go down, and it wasn't a good spot for it, but just a little bit too late. Melzel still able to get the plant off, and close crossfire is going to be held here, even with the flash to try and push their way through. Free fire just doing all the work. Counter from Aspas though. Nicely done. Still haven't dealt with Melzer though. He's holding close to this wall. Eventually that's going to be fading away.
Teleport's ready.
And the Loud players in these moments going for individual fights rather than the coordinated swarming that we've seen from Leviatan. Still though, making it somewhat doable. The time is just so low though for Aspas.
No, there's no chance. Aspas will attempt to get a couple of kills towards the end of it, but there's going to be the 10th round on the board here for Leviatan.
On a
starting
map.
to run away with it, I think. On a map that's not even their map pick.
Not their map pick. Never played before on the global stage. A good record on it, for sure. But one where Loud thought they could get the leg up. And my, what a surprise this has been for them. Excellent individual form from Leviatan. And Loud, they are a defense-sided team, but this is a gulf. 5-round deficit that they have to try and recover here.
It's going to take quite a bit. Do have the guns.
Very good recon dart from both players, actually.
Pushed them back, didn't it, for about a moment. Deep wall. There's no attempt by King to try and break this one early.
Feels like both teams are being very respectful of that B wall.
Yeah.
And it's allowing the defenses to get tons of map control. And look at how the defense is playing here and how different it is to Leviatan. Leviatan, even when they had that wall down on B, were playing very heavy around mid, making sure that nobody could come mid and under-tube towards B or up-tube to kitchen. Loud instead trying to stack A to fight them. Not willing to play the retake.
Slight jiggle.
What is King holding there?
Is this a fight that's even about to take place? I think King is holding the slight angle because there was a gap in the wall. At least there was, before it eventually dissipates and fades away. But no time really left in the round to be making these kind of decisions. 40 seconds left, and it looks like a play is going to have to be made over towards A.
Loud have just moved away from holding the re-hit. And that opens up Aspas. Leviatan have found the perfect timing.
It should be the comfort zone. Still though for Loud with the rifles. On the defensive side, the kills are flooding their way, one after the other.
King got caught in mid.
Enough. Still Taco wants to do a bit of damage. Headhunter holding close to Jenny. They're giving up a lot of space. Les working his way across rafters. Is there going to be the setup for it? One after the other. Almost with the spray down to collect it, but now down to that 1v1. And Melzer! He caught the timing, but just could not land the shots.
What a flick. What a flick. Pancada finding 2 very important kills in that round. Picks up King on the mid lurk and comes back around to win the 1v1. Oh, hey! Nice. Love the tech. Get the res, throw the weapon. And that's going to help the economy, and that is in a desperate situation for Loud right now. And here's what I'm talking about. Loud's defensive prowess. Not just on ICEBOX, but on Ascent too, if we get there as the 3rd map. And God, I hope we get there.
That would be an absolute banger. But preferred map for both teams as the decider.
But that's a long way off, and it feels a long way off at this point too. Loud getting a very important round on the board. The next one would test the Leviatan economy, but there's so many ults right now. A big round that both teams will want to invest into. Aspas breaking his ankles there just a little bit, takes 15 damage.
Drops down to the ground. There is an early attempt there. You can see that the wall, pieces of it at least being broken.
Not really enough, I think, to make Pancada worried. But it is going to keep people away from stacking the A site. And you've got such a deep trademark here, actually, from Tacolia as well. Loud are the kind of team on the defensive ICEBOX where they like to push down mid and sometimes will wall off mid. And that trademark does get broken. That's a shockdown coming out from Sassy. And King concerned that somebody could be pushing, but the rest of the team grouping up to go towards A once more.
There's about to be an explosion of a fight, isn't it? Over towards A.
Both teams with null command.
Just depends if they can get the timings off, because both of them are playing up close. There it is. They managed to get it off equally on either side, so it's going to be scattered across. No abilities in play. It's just going to come down to the raw fundamentals. Sadak will be the first to pay for his life. They burst down his body. There is no return fire from the rest of his team. Sassy, a little bit too delayed, just tries to take too much under his belt. The dart not even being dealt with there. And Aspas has to respect it by backing away. It just tags up onto Les. One after the other, the players of Loud are being caught unaware.
A fundamental difference there, Brent, between how the two teams are playing and supporting each other. The way that Leviatan are holding angles for each other is just too much for Loud to deal with. And you're right, Sassy's timing was so odd. Too late to trade Sadak, too early for Les to come and help him. And it just ended up being a trickle retake.
Yeah.
Nowhere near good enough for Loud.
Teleport's ready.
put that 11th one on the board. The advantages, the stats, everything was pointing towards, you know, Loud being favored, I suppose, when they reach this defensive side of ICEBOX, but so far they do not have a lot of buffer room.
Look
They
at
don't have room to work with.
Sadak out on his own. Nobody else.
No one else with it. And no one else
with him.
No one breaking the dart as well.
Yeah.
In that situation. ICEBOX and Haven as the first two maps. Last time that Loud ended up playing both of those maps was against Crew when they lost at Copenhagen. The other LATAM team.
And another South American rivalry match. One that was a big surprise to a lot of people that it didn't go the way of Loud. This is such a slow and patient round. Coming out the back of Loud's timeout, Leviatan clearly expecting some kind of defensive aggression.
Yeah.
But they haven't spotted anything, and nothing's really going on. This is just time ticking off the clock.
Feels like as far as adjustments go, there is a bit more of a presence from Loud to play into mid. See Sadak moving close towards the Viper's orb, in fact playing inside of it.
As this wall goes down, there are going to be so many tools that Leviatan have to get through here. First, Pancada taking contact. Secondly, a reactive Viper's Pit, and also the Hunter's Fury. Going towards B here with only 40 seconds does not seem like it's going to be too successful.
Yeah. Unless was holding up his own Viper's Pit for just a moment. Dart into the back. Now there's going to be the Hunter's Fury as well, but Pancada, wonderful swing. Crosshair placement was fantastic. Wins out this first fight, however, bit of a jiggle of the movement. Tackleer does find it, but time is running low. 20 seconds remaining.
And the Hunter's Fury was used before the plant.
There'll be a res online now, but 12 seconds. There has to be an attempt at the plant. And there we go, it's being stuck. There is a possibility here. Loud are really being forced to just try and take the fight early, but they are losing so many players in the mix of things.
It's a 5v2. And Loud's economy is going to be absolutely desperate if they lose this one. Whoa, what a push from King! The timing seemed great, but Aspas was there to help his teammate. Surely that doesn't make it winnable, though.
No, it's just one more layer to just try and get through. Sure to get through to one, but it's still that 2v4. Yeah, they've got the rifles, but the difficult ask of them, you just got to save. Oh, that's just so brutal, man.
And what an absurd call from Sadak. That one can sting the pride.
Leviatan going to be put onto map point.
Map point. And Loud with a mixed buy again.
Oh, my.
Aspas actually being able to get the kill there on Taco puts him 1 point away from a tour de force. If Aspas drops his rifle over to somebody else and plays for the Alt Orb early, that kill in terms of the Chamber v Chamber post-round could make a bit of a difference. But perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself. It's still a 6-round deficit that Loud are having to claw back towards.
No room.
And a horrible buy.
No room for error.
And Aspas is also not giving up the rifle. Pancada doesn't get this one. At least not until the Alt Orb's been picked up and fought over.
And an attempt is there. Pancada, lovely shot to hit there, forcing back with a rendezvous on either side. Hunter's Fury. Slight bait there at the movement. Pancada, though, he wades right into it. But he guesses correctly on the third time around. Sidestep is there, enough. He doesn't pay for it with his life. Can't believe as well, Leviatan just so confident to take the space once more, despite the fact that they lost a player there momentarily. Not really any utility being used. Look at them just contacting so deep into this one.
Good
they
flash.
Haven't cleared the back of it. The flash to supplement and a swing onto Aspas.
Great combo play there from Sadak and Aspas, the duo on this team that most often sets up plays like that. In the meantime, King continues to make space towards A. In the back of Loud's head, do they remember the round where King got all the way down behind them? It feels like Les is watching for it.
Yeah, he knows it's a possibility.
But there could well be a Viper v Viper clash. And even if King doesn't push forwards, he's secured the site.
Yeah, he's getting so much space for them. The call's going to be made. That's why, see, the spike has already made its way over towards A.
30 seconds
Or lay it down as well. And now they know for sure. Difficult situation this is for Loud. The fragment nade just going so wide.
The nade being used before there's anyone in position to try and take advantage of it, before the wall is broken as well. Loud have the advantage here, but the retakes have not been clean. This would be a heartbreaking round to go down on.
So disjointed, but they do have that player advantage like you were mentioning, Josh. Up top though, Melter wants to take the fight right to them underneath. Hug in the corner, and King will eventually be punished. Melter's doing so much work for them, now just down to Adverso. The 1v2. Dodging, juking, playing the movement around Maze, less he finds his target. It's a scrappy round, but it's one that they win, nevertheless.
Eventually, Loud are able to pull together one of these retakes. Adverso had his chance. Melzer continues to just be a menace in these situations. So good for it. Love the angles that he's playing there, and how he plays off the pressure from the rest of his team too.
Oh, wow.
Sweet 2K.
Yeah.
Adverso just not quite able to make that 1v2 clutch happen. They have many more opportunities here though. But Loud might have dodged the most difficult round if they're going to put some kind of comeback together. That last round, where the weaponry was awful, could have been the hardest ask just yet. Aspas now with the Tour de Force online means everyone has a good weapon in hand.
Not out of the woods yet though. Gotta be taking this one round at a time.
It is such a fast contact play into A.
I mean, look at how deep they are. All the way up to this own Viper's wall.
Really testing the limits of the Loud defense. Oh, and this is just
There's
an
so many
absurd
players.
situation.
Watch Taco Leah. There are so many angles that know he's there. They heard, I think, at least a part of the utility. How do you get away with that?
And I thought King might use that bit of scurry, sense of chaos on the other side of the map.
So many fights. I mean, I suppose surely he's got to worry about this one. No, okay, King's just going to be backing away.
And the tension relieved from the situation. Any point there, timing could have flipped the round in either direction. Louder got the read though. They have stacked 3 players up towards A.
Viper going to be going up for them as well. This is going to be disrupting this push. And they've got the right read, like you said, Josh. To A now. T-Paul's going to be placed once more. Same one as before with the dart as well to try and help that one out. Push them back, and it has been dealt with, but the plan's not being disrupted. In fact, the swing now comes through Loud. Great fundamentals at play. There was no spray transfer to make that one a bit more rewarding on the side of Leviatan. Loud, another great retake.
Definitely feels like Loud are starting to get these working. Leviatan have been playing post plant up in the top of Nest every time on that top site layer. And we've seen big moments from Melzer up there before, but this time the trade's coming through immaculately, people waiting for each other before they commit to it.
Enemy remaining.
And that's the level of fundamentals that Loud are going to need to demonstrate if they want to close this gap, which is now down to 4 rounds. Leviatan on a light buy, but Leviatan have been so dangerous in these kind of situations. So far in the tournament, I mean, coming into this match, they were winning half of their semi-eco rounds and 70% of their half-buy rounds, which is just absurd.
That is ridiculous.
So
Utterly ridiculous.
Loud are still in danger.
And part of the reason they're so dangerous is because they're not afraid. With the weaker weaponry, you can see alternated placement there of the wall. We're going across Jenny in a bit of a normal spot. We've seen time and time again, but Tackleer playing on a high ground. Angle is forced back away from the TP then. Bit of skip, a bit of hop, just trying to avoid all that damage from the snake bite, but a second layer of it! Unless we'll fall. One after the other. Has to back away though, you gotta respect the rifles, and Sadek still wants to hold his ground with the rest of his team because they know they are facing the onslaught right now.
There is a res. Now would be a good round to invest it, in my opinion. That's not where they're going though.
Trying to reclear this one.
Down towards Maze.
Trying to take a close quarters fight against Stingers. They run away, they vacate the premises. No, it's a reclear. Going right back into it! Sadek claims 3.
30 seconds left.
Beautiful spray down. Yeah, a rifle in the hands of Melzer. Dodge and juke there across the ropes just to avoid a lot of the fire that's going in their direction. But Loud have got the supreme read on this. They know all these players are just trying to land and end their way up towards A. It's out. Not a lot of time remaining for it though, and a great one from Pankata.
Major play by Sadek. Major play. Got a couple of big rounds early on in this match as well, but this push up off the back of the sound bay. Leviatan were going for a strat where they were deliberately making a lot of noise, running out of the A site, and then trying to quietly sneak back in. making it sound to Loud like they'd left and were on the rotate to B.
Yeah.
But instead of Sadak rotating, he went to re-clear.
Scanning ahead.
Let's see what the adjustment is. Deep dart and a slow wall. That's going to be trying to get a bit of a punish there onto Les.
Les gets his Viper's Pit online though, and even though he's suppressed, he'll have it as a reaction if they try to go into A. I was wondering whether Les was going to go for the rotate there. It feels like both of these teams are never going towards B main.
No.
The chamber players that are trying to hold down B are just getting nothing. It was Taco in the first half, it's Aspas now.
That works.
The whole of the attack sides are all focused around A and mid. Put such a weird twist onto this game. And now, big ultimates for Loud too. Null command, Viper's Pit to shut down anything that might be coming towards A. And Sadak will have the null command for the retake if they want to go over towards the B site. Feels like both of these teams have been using the ultimates in a reactive way, not choosing to invest the pits off the rip. And here, finally, Aspas gets some contact.
Slight jiggle with a jump peek, at least with the knife. Does force that rendezvous back, so Aspas has to play backwards here, especially with that no command.
30 seconds
Think
left.
of waves across the site, the owl drone going down a little bit too late, probably for their liking. And all the space is being gained now. Pushing all the way up, there's going to be the Viper wall on top of it. And they want to be trying to make a play, pushing all the way through,
Great
but spam through the wall.
Great spam. There is a res available, but that would be a dangerous one. And Sassy's found another.
Yeah, this is such a fast retake now from the Loud players. They're making sure that they waste no time in the mix. Trying to take the fight straight to them, and it's up to Melter. But he knows his positioning now. And Aspas, far too talented individually. This guy is just almost second to none at times. But that is going to be that 10th round that Loud needed. Leviatan's economy, I believe, is now going to be in the gutter.
It certainly is. Loud are making this comeback a reality.
Yeah.
And this awareness is beautiful from Sassy. This is where you see, despite the fact that these teams have never played against each other before, they know how each other play. There are only a few teams in the tournament that go for plant positions like that on B, getting aggressive up towards the back snowman. And Sassy knows it's happening before it's even begun.
Yeah.
Reads it, shoots through the wall.
Let's play.
Easy stuff.
Spams the common angle.
But we said before that Leviathan are just nasty in these half-buy rounds.
Hunter's Fury. Where's this coming from? That's Sassy. Straight down from mid. Angle's being found. A final shot will eventually do a bit of damage. Tagging himself onto Shy.
Here.
Be healing himself up as well, and Aspas has worked his way back onto the angle. He was initially pushed off, but now he's being swarmed.
You will
Starting to get
kill my
a bit more dangerous, but luckily Pancada was there to cover.
And Taco gets rezzed. That is the tour de force back online. And the major tool that Leviatan will be relying on in order to get this working.
Aspas surely don't want to be taking this again. There was a flash to help him get back up onto that angle.
And it's a 4-player stack from Loud. Leviatan have demonstrated, though, an ability to just pivot and go all the way back to A in rounds like this. And King has lurked, so Loud players have to be cautious, at least a little.
Yeah, stacked with 3. Fragment to the back of Yellow there. 30 seconds remaining in this
30
round. It
seconds
looks
left.
like the Leviatan players. The call has been made, at least by King, because he has lurked his way into a deep position into mid, but they don't have any prior space onto A. Very risky to try and pivot when they have this little time into the round. Only 15 seconds left, and there are going to be players to meet them. Sassy and Les, they spot him out, and now with the crossfire setup, one after the other, better weaponry.
One enemy remaining.
Rifles is all that's necessary. That is going to be Loud on the cusp of bringing it to OT.
Not sure how much of an impact that'll really have.
This is where we finally see a bit of presence over towards B main. Melter is holding the slow orb.
King, in fact, is holding the bottom of Tube, which is where Aspas is going. Aspas went for a very similar thing after the prior timeout, if I remember correctly. Or at least he did it in one of these rounds. He's definitely showcased a propensity for pushing Tube.
Wall was
King is
dropped down
watching
to
this.
main. Yep. Oh, the flash was mistimed there. I think that was to try and set Aspas up.
And now he's giving it all away. I mean, this would be an ill-advised peek. That flash, they know it means Aspas wants to peek at the drone. Yeah. They're giving it away. Very easy for Leviathan to read that they're trying to get aggressive in mid right now. But Aspas is not overstepping himself.
shallower angle. Now you're starting to see them work their way through into B main. That's going to be slow over the back of yellow.
But I think this is all a feint. When you look at the other side of the map, Takulia is actually taking his AWP.
And the spike is nowhere near as well.
Yeah, almost on a lurk play into A. So Leviatan still have options here, even though the timer is getting down to the final 30 seconds.
And if they do end up committing into B, 4 Loud players.
30 seconds
the
left.
correct read. If it is the play that's being made, I mean, at this point, I don't think there's time for a pivot.
No, they're going to go.
Yeah, 22 seconds left now with a fragment nade up into the top of the nest. Hunter's Fury into the back of it. That's a Snowman. That's to try and help them out, but it's just narrowly avoiding the shots. Side to side, but eventually the damage is going to be sweeping through them. But the spike has been planted.
And Sadak was too late with the null command. It didn't cancel the Hunter's Fury or the Viper's Pit, but Sassy again, being the miracle worker for Loud in OT.
Sassy has been an absolute maniac, and the shots are fired. One after the other, only 3 players left standing. But do they have enough to try and offset it? With the Viper's Pit online, is a snake bite. What a peek by Aspas! And they can hear it. The diffuse is online. A triple swing, sticking it, sticking it, sticking it! You gotta be kidding me! King did the most. 3 kills to try and stop it. But Loud just had too many layers. And they
Finished around 24.
Oh my goodness.
King doing everything he possibly could. But he's only one man. He may be a king, but he's only one man.
He has been dominant so far. I mean, look at the scoreline of him, 25 and 12.
It's one of the things, actually, that's so cool to watch with both of these two teams, is how hard their IGLs frag.
Yes.
King on one side, normally the entry player, but I mean, picks up Viper here on this map.
At times, it's felt like a dying art.
It has.
A lot of the IGL players, often you see them at the bottom of the scoreboard, but not the case with either of these teams. Sadak and King, the respective teams, they absolutely willing to pick up the pieces of the rest of their team when they just can't quite put up the numbers.
And now the question in OT becomes who can win an attacking round? Because those have really been the problems for either side. And of course, this may sound like a stupid point, but there are no more pistol rounds in OT. There are no opportunities for Leviatan to rest on what's been working immaculately for them and start to generate momentum. It's all rifle v rifle rounds, and that is where Loud have been finding their success. That is the bread and butter for this Brazilian squad.
Takulia. Oh my goodness, the angle, the swing, he takes so much damage, but eventually gets out with his life. 15 health, backs away for the heal. This is Loud, they're going to be taking good space now, getting a lot of ground over towards B main.
Every time Loud have taken B main, they have committed on B.
You think at this point, does that read come through? Because there's not really too much emphasis being placed onto mid. Bit of a rotation by Adversa, you can see him just trying to reclear this one now, but with the Viper's wall going up and the Sage wall across and moving forwards, straight deep into orange. Takulia is watching that one angle, but they got to suspect it. Sadak! What a maniac this guy is! A one-man army.
I'm not sure he even meant to be there. I think he was trying to jump up into top nest.
Planted.
He's made the most of it though. And now he's weaseled his way in. Such an uncommon position, and they have to just root him out. But this angle that he's playing is just phenomenal. And it's Loud who claim their attack side round.
What an absurd comeback this would be if Loud are able to convert on defense on their favored side.
Just ridiculous.
Leviatan looked like they were in complete control of this map, and it has been wrestled back. What a phenomenal play by Sadak.
Just insanity.
Sassy having some huge moments towards the end of regulation. Sadak with an enormous play there as well. And now it all rests in the hands of Loud if they can convert their defensive side.
Yeah. For the first time in what feels like forever in this map. A lead in the rounds. An opportunity for Loud to take this map.
And the wall has actually got a gap in it where Aspas can peek through.
That could be the difference maker.
Are Leviatan aware of that? He should be.
It's very patient play though on their attack side. Spike obviously not making any moves too much. In fact, if you look at the way that they're setting this up as well, it's just King making sure that he watches for the mid push. Takulia holding for the A push.
And to me, Bren, the rounds where Leviatan have had the most success have been where they create mid or B pressure and King is able to get a lurk off on A. And yet towards the end of this map, it's been mostly Taco playing A and King in mid.
Yeah.
They haven't seen as much success with that setup. King is going to become the lurker
way
here.
Loud, I've got the right read on this. There's just no way.
Sadak's reads on
seconds
defense have been immaculate so far in this map.
Just every single time.
Got us wall up. There's a fight in mid though potentially happening here as well. No, at that little bit of contact in A, Sassy runs away.
Yep, just backing away. Wants to try and help the rest of his team, just try and push back this play. Flash over the top, and Verso just did not know where he was looking. And a spray down! A tip-tap of a rifle. Whatever you want to call it, Pancada is doing so much work. And he's laid it down for them now. The defuse comes through, nothing in sight to stop it.